What's going on, guys? I am back with another video, and today we're doing a tour of all my fish tanks. We're here in my home currently, and I just wanted to say thank you real quick about the first video that I put out. You guys were awesome. You guys killed it. You know, the liking, the subscribing, you know, definitely all the views. So thank you guys so much for the positivity and the support on that video. So today we're gonna get right into it with this tour. And we're going to start with this tank right here behind me. This is the biggest tank that I have set up. This is the 75-gallon African cichlid tank. And you can see there's a pretty diverse selection of cichlids in here. And it works for me. There is, I want to say, there's 2 mbuna in here, but they're not aggressive at all. The rest of them are peacocks. There's 1 haplochromis in there. So we're gonna get right into it. As you can see, there's a purple belly yellowtail here, yellowtail axi or ACI. I don't really know how to pronounce that properly. If you guys could let me know in the comments, that'd be great. And we got a red zebra mbuna here. That's the red-tailed haplochromis. There's a red empress female here. We got a lemon jake male and female pair up here. There's 2 sulfur heads. There's a male here, and then there's a male up there in the corner, swimming down there. A little bit of aggression going on right now. And there's an Impanga red here. That's the other mbuna. He's absolutely awesome. He's docile. He doesn't bother anybody. And there's a OB peacock, male and female pair in here. There is, I don't know if you can see this guy a little swimming around here. There are 3 Pictus catfish in here, and they're an absolute great bottom feeder. Nobody bothers them. They don't bother anybody, and they just do their own thing. They like to hide until the lights go out, and then they come out. It's, just like the plecos. There's 3 bristle-nosed plecos in here, just your basic bristle-nose. And there's 1 actually under the rock here, and then I want to say the other one is under here, which these guys ended up knocking these plants down, which is crazy because they moved the whole rock because the plants are attached to the rock. And they moved both of them, this one and this one, which is crazy. I'm going to have to fix that. And but then there's a dragon blood peacock right here. And again, it's actually one of my favorites. I actually picked him up in a blue dragon blood peacock when I went to Aquashella, Chicago, with Flip Aquatics, and I was like, man, seeing all this saltwater stuff, and you know, working in a booth, you don't really have a ton of time to walk around because you're so busy and you're so tied to the booth. And when I did finally get a chance to walk around, I believe it was Saturday or Sunday morning. Before the show started, I had time to walk around and kind of look at things, and I had stumbled across this one booth in this Windy City Tropicals, I believe it was, and they had the blue dragon blood peacocks, and then they had the pink dragon blood peacocks, and I'm like, man, I just gotta have one of those for the tank at home. So I ended up picking 1 of each up, and the blue dragon blood's not in here right now. He's actually in a quarantine tank, and I'll show you guys that in a minute. This tank is actually filtered by a Blue Hole FX4, which is underneath here. It sits underneath the tank because there's the intake, and then here's the outtake here. And there's just an air stone up there. There's a sponge filter back here in the corner, and then there's supposed to be 1 in there, but I needed it for the quarantine tank because I didn't have any other cycled sponges that I could put in that tank, and I would rather take from this tank. That way he's coming from the same, you know, the same ecosystem basically. And so that's in the quarantine tank right now. And then the heater that is in here is a little bit too big for this tank. I had to move a bunch of heaters around, and I ended up having a couple that broke on me. But I ordered a bunch of new heaters through Royal Aquatics, I believe it was, and those should be here sometime this week. So I'll get those, and I'll get them, put in the tanks, and everything straightened around. I'm sure you're wondering why the background is cut a little bit short of the top of the tank, and I did that on accident. I put the wrong measurement in when I ordered it, and but it kind of worked out, and I don't mind it. I actually like it because it gives me a place to suction cup the heater to the glass on the inside instead of just, you know, leaning the heater in there somewhere, or leaning it against the wall or something, or laying it on the bottom. I just don't like that look. I prefer it to be standing upright. So yeah, that's the inside of this tank, and we're gonna dive on into the others. So as we work our way down the list, this is a 20 long African cichlid tank, and this is a single fish tank. There's only one cichlid in here, and that is Hermes. He's a bumblebee cichlid, and he's far too aggressive to keep with other fish. He was fine as a juvenile, and as he matured, he just he got way too aggressive to keep with other fish. So this tank is filtered by 2 sponge filters. There's just single plant in there. I want to get another plant for there, so I gotta see what we got down at the shop. Maybe get one off of Rob, and but he managed to bury that one in the sand. There's a plant weight on it just to hold it down, and he managed to bury that one because he likes to move the sand around. He likes to, you know, create his own spaces, and I don't bother it. I think he's, you know, he should be allowed to create his own little hiding spaces and stuff like that. So I definitely don't bother him with that. And there's 2 pieces of driftwood in here. There's the big one here in the front, and then there's the other one, which is back there. And I kind of use that one to prop the one up in the front. And this water is kind of dark. It's not just the lighting that's on it. The water is kind of dark. The driftwood's leaching a lot of tannins into the water, but it doesn't bother him. And I just do, you know, a little bit more of a water change here and there. And definitely it doesn't bother him. It doesn't bother the plants. So I'm definitely just gonna keep going this one as it is. The heater in here is a little bit too big, but I have new heaters coming, so I'll definitely, as soon as they should be here sometime this week, so I'll definitely get those changed out and get this set right. There's I keep a little thermometer on the side. There's a digital thermometer, and I have the heater turned down, if it'll focus there. The heater's turned down right now, so I gotta get that turned up because I'm still trying to figure out, you know, where to set it at. But this one's definitely a favorite. But like I said, I can't pick a favorite. I love them all. So as we work our way down the list, the next tank is by far the most I've ever done with plants, and gone into escaping a little bit like that, and it's very heavily planted. The fish seem to like it. They seem to like it because there's a lot of hiding places and stuff like that. Some of the plants are they uprooted, so I got to plant those back down. But this is my 10-gallon puffer tank. This tank is by far my absolute favorite. There's so many plants in here, and these are pea puffers. There is I don't know if the camera will focus on it, but there are, gosh, I wish the camera would focus. There are 5 pea puffers in here, and these guys are absolutely phenomenal. They love all the hiding places because there's 3 Java fern mats across the back, the piece of driftwood, there's narrowleaf Java fern mat here, narrowleaf Java fern mat there, and then on each side there's one here, and then there's one here. These are red crypt Wendy or Wendy, however you say that. Like I said, I'm still learning all the plant names, but I think I said it right. If I didn't, let me know in the comments below, so I can start saying that right. And then these red plants in here, there's 3 different types, or 2 different types. I can't remember the name of them. I got them from Dustin's Fish Tanks at Aquatic Experience in New Jersey this year, and they're absolutely phenomenal. They're really taken to the substrate well, and this is the fluval stratum substrate, the plant and tank substrate, which is also a buffering substrate, but it doesn't bother the puffers, with the pH being a little bit lower. And this tank has 2 sponge filters in the back. You can see the bubbles coming up. There's 2 sponge filters in there, and there's a heater hidden in the back. And this is probably my absolute favorite tank. I need to get those plants put back down in, and definitely get them put back in there. I want to get a new light for this. I want to get the Fluval Nano light, the one that's for like a 10-gallon tank or something like that. But it's for plants. You can like control it through your phone and stuff and all that stuff. So maybe splurge a little bit, get myself an early Christmas present. So yeah, this tank's definitely gonna be awesome. I think I've dosed it with fertilizer one time. The crypts are melting right now. I'm interested to see if those come back after they melt, you know, or if I just gotta take them out and toss them. But definitely stay tuned, guys, for more on this tank. I'll definitely be doing more. Okay, so second to last tank. This tank I just kind of threw together. That's why there's some wires dangling and stuff like that. But this is the quarantine tank, and this is the blue dragon blood peacock that I was talking about when I showed you guys the 75-gallon tank. And he had some issues. He wasn't feeling too good. He had some external parasites, so I actually put him in here. This is the sponge filter out of the 75, so it's a little bit big for this, but like I said, I don't have a cycled sponge that I could have thrown in here, you know, for the bacteria and stuff. So it's just a little heater in there, the sponge. I do turn the light on for him, and the thermostat's dangling in there just so I can monitor the temperature. But I actually put him in here, and I treated him with Fritz Copper Safe, which helps with ick. It treats velvet. It treats external parasites and stuff like that. So it's definitely an awesome medication. And once I put it to him, he definitely just started bouncing back, and he's been eating. You know, he's definitely been swimming around a lot more, even though it's a small tank and he doesn't swim too much. He's definitely been swimming around a lot more. And I can't wait to finally get this guy back into the 75 and get him back with everybody else. I think he'll do a lot better then. But this guy's absolutely phenomenal. He's just a beautiful color, and of course the camera's probably not going to focus for me, but he's beautiful. And I might try to find a female to maybe do some breeding with this guy. You know, maybe find a couple females to have them brought in and set up a breeding tank and do that. So the final tank number 5 on our video here. This is my betta tank. This is a Half Moon mustard gas betta that I got from Rob down the shop from Flip Aquatics, and I got him when Rob first got him in. I just had to have I fell in love with this guy, and he's been doing awesome ever since I got him, and he just shimmers so nicely. And I want to say this is like a 1.5 gallon or a 2 gallon tank. It's not very deep. It's taller than it is deep, and I just run a little. There's a small waterfall filter on there. There's a little betta heater in the bag, just because his water doesn't stay warm enough where he's at. And this tank's got the Brightwell. Forget the exact type it is, but it's the Brightwell planted tank substrate. So it is a buffering substrate, but the dwarf lilies in there don't seem to mind it. I've got some ideas on rescaping this tank. I'm thinking, you know, maybe some boosts, some Anubias Nano Petite, stuff like that. Let me know what you guys think about that down in the comments, and maybe we'll do a rescape on this tank. And so that's gonna be it, guys. So last but not least, there is one more tank that I want to show you guys, And this tank used to be set up, and I tore it down not too long ago. I tore it down because I didn't have, you know, use for it. And but I've been wanting to set it back up, and I want your guys' opinion on what I should do. So I have a 40-gallon tank here, and on a custom stand I made, and I have a sump tank and I have a protein skimmer to do a saltwater setup, but at the same time I don't have an RO system, so I don't have RO water. So I would have to take RO water from the shop where I work at Flip Aquatics. I would have to take RO water whenever I want to do a water change, or to even fill it. I would just have to fill 5-gallon buckets and then haul them all home. I don't want to do that. And if I did do a saltwater setup, I would want to do an RO system. So I've been thinking about redoing this tank, you know, setting it back up, cleaning it up, setting it back up, and doing something different in it. You know, something I haven't done yet. So let me know what you guys think down in the comments what we should do with this tank. If we should go saltwater, if we should keep it freshwater, and we should you know, just scape it up real nice, and you know, there's some nice plants and sand or whatever. And definitely drop your thoughts down in the comments below, and you know, whatever kind of, I guess I could say, we'll gets the most votes, we'll go with that. And you know, I'll definitely bring you guys video on you know, setting this tank back up. Obviously I had to get, you know, a filter and stuff like that, but we might be even, you know what, might even run it as a sump. I don't know, might do a sump filtration on it, who knows. Let me know what you guys think down in the comment what we should do with this tank, and I'll see you guys in the next video.